Hold up. I said Salt Lake City, how we feeling? Okay, I'm feeling like that too. It feels good to be alive, yo. Thank you for coming out to celebrate with us. Some beautiful artists in the house tonight. Some beautiful energy in the place. I want to introduce a special guest coming up. But one more time for DJ Nizzle, y'all. We have my man Gentry Fox up here. We got Captain Dano. We got Dallas Brown, Fruit Medicine in the house. We got Malev the Shinobi in the house. We got your boy D Sharp. D Sharpest host you ever seen. Hold it down on the MIC. One time for your motherfucking mind. DJ, let's cut that music one time. I gotta bring a special guest up in here. This man is a new friend of mine. And this dude has made a big impact on my life. So normally, when I throw shows, I bring just only musicians, right? But I've been getting more into like inspiration and empowerment and just good vibes and all that shit. So I've been watching my homeboys' IG stories and just getting super inspired, and I was like, I want to share this energy with my audience, with my people that will resonate with the good message, because this dude is just a genuine positive person that radiates bright energy, inspiration, and empowerment, and shows us that we can chase our dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for motivational guest speaker and professional skateboarder, Jed Fuller.
Alright, we'll go ahead and hop up here because I've never been on stage before like this, so bear with me as I stumble through this. I thought it was kind of odd that Brunel hit me up to come motivational speak at a hip-hop show. But the universe knows what it's doing, and so hopefully able to say something that will inspire somebody here, help somebody that's going through something. You see, 15 years ago, I attempted suicide several times over a few years. And coming out of that, I learned three things. My kids taught me that it wasn't my choice whether they had a dad or not. My daughter said, "Yeah, Dad, we just love you." And I understood in that moment what unconditional love was. And the constant in my life has always been skateboarding. I've skated for over 30 years, and I realized during that time that I needed that therapy. And so I started skating more. Through the encouragement of some friends and the inspiration of my kids, I went into a shop, picked up a sponsor. Keep in mind, at this time I was 35 years old. That's the age where most pros are going behind the scenes to run the company. And, it was really scary. And but I decided that when my kids told me it wasn't my choice, that I had to have another route. And so skateboarding became it. And I realized it was that easy to pick up one sponsor. I could probably pick up some more. And if I got, travel, I could get frequent flyer miles and go see my kids more. And 2 years later, I was on a plane for Thanksgiving. And so, I threw my hat in the ring, and I went to a bunch of contests. The first year and a half I was doing this, I knocked myself out 3 times. The last time I did it, I didn't wake up until they were pulling me out of the MRI machine. I remember coming back from one contest, and when I knocked myself out. If you Google Jed Fuller knockout on YouTube, you can go watch it. But we were in Florida at this contest, and I was 35, 36, and these kids, like I was as old as their parents, right? And so I'm like, man, what the fuck am I doing here, dude? Like, they weren't wearing pads, no helmets, no nothing. I grew up skating street in pads. Like, it was weird. So I just put my knee pads on because I had black pants. My pads were black, and so it blended in. So maybe the judges wouldn't judge me. Well, I ended up going up doing this frontside air, and I came down, and there was no real flat bottom in the bowl, and I was a little in the front seat, and I just boom. And it was the craziest thing because it was the first time that had ever happened to me. And so it was weird all the way around. When I got home, one of my buddies picked me up from the airport, and I sat in the car and started crying. I was like, what am I doing? You know? Like, I don't fucking belong out here. I'll never forget it. Like, I feel like this happened 10 minutes ago. He looked over at me and he was like, dude, Matt Hoffman's got like 9 or 10 of those on you. You just got some catching up to do. Threw it, dried, and took off. Like, it was no big deal. And I thought, well, maybe I'm putting too much pressure on this. And I just kept going. I kept grinding. My kids over the years inspired me to live for greatness. And I knew that I couldn't quit. But I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't know how I was going to ever succeed. Well, like I said, I just kept grinding. And so in 2016, I took 3rd place at the Vans Pool Party in the Masters Division, which is 40 and over. February of 2017, I went to Australia. March of 2017, I went to Sweden. And this past November of 2017, Missy Skateboards released a board with my name on it. Thank you. And in February of this year, I went to back to Australia and skated in a contest against Tony Hawk. I'm one of the fuck-ups. Like, I never had my shit together, dude. Like, I just couldn't figure out life, you know? Fucking this thing. All the decisions I do wrong, you know, all this shit. And so, yeah, you know, I tried to jump off the earth and disappear, and fortunately I found something I wasn't good at. So after a couple of staycations, I fucking put my head down, and here I am. And this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, is inspire people. And so when Burnell hit me up, he had watched the Instagram stories, and I was scared as shit. I've been telling myself I was going to do those for like a month. And for whatever reason, I didn't know if people would listen or whatever, you know, let fear drive that. But I finally did a couple, and I've done 6, I think. So he saw a couple and invited me out here. So this is a dream come true for me. Another one. I hope I cry at all of them, because it means the world to me. So at this point, I want to thank you all for listening. I'll be here, happy to talk to anybody. If you need help or just want to say thanks or need a hug, I'll give you one or 2. They're free. But Burnell, man, I can't thank you enough. Happy birthday, album release party. This dude's birthday, it's a fucking OG. So let's make some fucking noise and support this hip hop community, Charlotte City, Urban Lounge.
Holy shit. Make some goddamn noise for Jed motherfucking Fuller! The icon, yo. Straight up, it goes to show that you're never too old to chase a dream. You're never too low to rise above again, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people could be in the lowest fucking place imaginable and completely turn their life around and then be on stage empowering and uplifting other people and sharing a positive message and using their wisdom that they learn from those challenges to help add value to the world. So thank you, Jed, for sharing that story with us. I feel so inspired. Everybody go follow at Jed Fuller or Frontside Jed at Frontside Jed on Instagram. He's on Facebook and all that. You can see him in some of my stories and stuff. But make sure to connect with him. He's really inspiring, and I think he's going to be doing a lot of big things. And man, one day him and I might be sharing some big stages together, inspiring the world. So thank you, Jed. Thank you, everyone, for listening with an open heart. I appreciate y'all. We got my homeboy, the one and only Healing Vibes.